Good evening, everyone. Glad you could make it. We're live.
So what's up?
What's up, everybody? How's your
Not much. Just living the busy life.
living the life?
We got
Yes.
Bracken back in the house.
I feel like a special guest. Not special.
We had a great session last week with Keith. It was a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
He's a great guy.
I think we got to get an update on Bracken's life and B yard, Glade, don't you think?
Yep. So what's up, Bracken?
Oh,
What have you been doing?
I'm just gonna try to get things dialed in for California. Leaving about 2 months for that, November 14th. But I've added some boxes to some of my single brood management. Get them some pollen patties and some syrup. Let them start coming into that second box and utilizing it because they don't like singles down there. So got to get them back into doubles. Been doing some oxalic acid treatment with the vaporizer. I had the state bee inspector come.
Which one? Joey or Jenna?
Say that again.
Which, the state one? Or
Yeah,
the county?
state. Jenna.
Jenna. Yeah.
Yeah, she came out. She took a bunch of, I guess we did 8 different colonies down in the lower farm, and she took some wax samples, took live bees, took all the mites that she found and took the mites with her and she did quite a bit. She gave me a pamphlet of everything that they treat for, but she says it'll be quite a while before they get any of the information back.
Yeah, I actually like doing that. I need to do a video. In fact, I've got a couple of years worth of results back.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
I'll have
You
to.
shared your results. You did something earlier.
Yeah, I've got
this
some
summer
more
where you shared stuff.
Yeah, I've got some more results though, and I was going to kind of compare between last year and what I've seen, what they gave me this year too.
So Bracken, quick question. So you're giving pollen patties? I haven't even thought about giving pollen patties this fall. Maybe
Well, depends on what I want mine to start brooding up because I'm taking them down to California. So I don't know if they're still bringing in pollen too, though. I did see that today. I seen quite a few bees bringing in their own pollen, and they're obviously going to take that over mine.
But mine are bringing in pollen too, and the nukes I've given them all like a half a patty, and then they ate that, and I've given them another half a patty, and they've eaten that. It's gone. I just checked the hives tonight. There's not even the wax paper left in there.
Yeah, they devoured mine.
How long will you keep doing that?
I'll pump them full until I ship them. I just usually add I usually just cut it in half and add a half a piece. Today I actually put on some of those pretty strong ones. I put a full piece, 1 pound, but usually I cut it in half and give them a half pound at a time.
Are you going to send all your hives, or do you keep like some of the weaker hives at
Anything
home?
Anything that's like a C grade, I won't send, because if they're a C grade here, they're just going to get worse there. The travel and the stress on them, they might get better over there, but it's just not worth it.
I saw Jason just put this. I was actually just wondering about the stinky sock nectar flow. I think he's referring to goldenrod. What I'm talking about? The goldenrod flow starts, and you get the.
Oh yeah, that has rabbit brush.
I haven't had. Oh, is it rabbit brush? Is goldenrod and rabbit brush the same thing?
Pretty similar, aren't they, Glade?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're pretty similar. I know rabbit brush is blooming right now,
yeah,
and
has
it's
been for a couple
really,
of weeks.
yeah. You're probably a little ahead of us. Ours started probably last week.
I haven't smelled it on my hives. If Jason is getting it, I must. I just haven't noticed it.
Yeah, maybe your bees hasn't found a big patch yet.
Maybe this weekend I'll
But-
get in there and see.
There was a, I can't remember his name. He's a beekeeper. He sells insurance for Rainy. He sells it to all the big commercial guys back east. But I was talking to him one day, and he says
Mike?
rabbit brush pollen. Is it Mike? Oh, I'd have to look on see if I can find him. Anyways, he said rabbit brush is like one of the most. He says that is like a huge boost to bees, and it's great pollen. He told me, he says, if you could find an area to take all your bees before the almonds, he says there's guys that take it to Nevada. All the commercial guys, they'll go drop their bees off in Nevada because there's so much of that rabbit brush, and they'll get that rabbit brush pollen right before the almonds, get that pumped into them, and he says it's pretty good stuff.
I'm gonna have to look up what rabbit brush looks like. I will say I've always thought it's goldenrod, but I will say with the goldenrod, like the first year of beekeeping, when it started smelling like that, I thought something was wrong with my hives. I started calling my mentor. I thought there's something rotten in there, something's broken. I'm gonna lose my hives. But then over the years, I've learned to like actually appreciate the smell. Now I kind of look forward to it.
My bees have been bringing rabbit brush in for a couple of weeks now. But yeah, like you say, we tend to, my season's shorter out here.
And you just know that because of the smell? Is that how you're?
No, I just watching around as I've driven
Can you
around.
see
I'm
that?
like, oh look, that's rabbit brush blooming.
I don't know if it's showing on the screen. I'm on a separate page here. Is it showing?
No,
Oh,
I can't see it.
here, let me add it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's rabbit brush.
Well, that's all over in the Uinta Basin, Glade.
Oh yeah.
It makes sense. There's not a lot of that where I am, if any.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, looks
it's all
like
over
trees
out here.
there.
And the bees are all over it and bringing in a yellow pollen.
Yep, that's it. So that's, yeah, did he ask was he talking about the wax moth I used?
Yeah.
I guess it's not a super big, I don't know. We're live here. It is what it is. The state bee inspection was great, but man, they're very, if it doesn't have a label or say for bees, like I kind of was getting the hint that you can't use that, you can't use that, you can't use that.
Like what?
Well, the sponges, the oxalic acid sponges, those are a no-no.
You can't, if you make it on your own, you can't. So what do they say? You got to buy it from somewhere or what?
Yep, it's got to have a label, and I don't know how much I want to go into this.
Well, are they saying like,
live.
like you're prohibited? That's outlawed, like illegal type of stuff?
No, it's not that far, but they don't. Yeah, she did super great. The inspector was awesome about it, but she was like, "I'm just doing my job," and she had to do her due diligence, and I was just like, okay, like I won't use it.
Her job means she's just supposed to tell you not to use it, but you can use, like, you obviously can use it as much as you want.
I don't know if there's a punishment for it. I don't know. I mean,
I've asked
this.
I've asked the state bee inspectors. I said, have you ever actually written anybody up, like given them a ticket or something? He's like, no.
Yeah.
No. But their job is to make sure that we're doing things according to the law.
Yeah.
And technically, you are not supposed to be putting anything in your hive that's not been EPA approved.
Or
it doesn't
what? Like, what
That doesn't
are the
have-
consequences?
I, like I say, I don't know what.
I guess they could
there's-
fine you.
I mean, the EPA could really come down on you and say,
Yeah, they could fine you, and especially
Yep.
if you're selling the honey and they say, you're not. It's just whether or not they're going to waste the resources and fight it. But I think if they wanted to, yeah, I think they could be a.
I think if somebody wanted to just be ornery about the whole thing, I think they could really come down on you. But
Well, that's
Yeah.
discouraging. Like Jason's point is a good one there. He said we need some private bee inspectors that can return to the state without fear of repercussions. That's interesting.
Yeah, there was somebody there that said California. Everything's illegal in California though, so that doesn't surprise me. Just kidding. Whoever said that.
yeah, Randy Oliver's tried to get some legislation pushed through the EPA, or
Yeah.
I don't. Legislation's probably not the right word, but some rules through the EPA with regards to oxalic acid, because it just doesn't. It's not a big concern. I'd have to go back to the language that Randy Oliver was using, but it's something about it that oxalic acid is already listed as one of the substances that the EPA has already deemed to not be harmful. I can't remember the whole thing, but basically there's a list of substances that the EPA's already kind of said, hey, we don't really care about these. They're not a big deal. And oxalic acid, and I think formic acid is one of those, are both on that list. And so the idea was, well, why can't we just use it? And the EPA's being the EPA, right?
Maybe you can misuse it though. Like I don't know what happens if you get the wrong ratios, put too much oxalic acid. Like I have no idea, but maybe that's the point, is that I have no idea, so I shouldn't be making those decisions.
Yeah. So
Well, and there was some. I mean, this is the government talking. That's I don't think it was her per se. I think it was, like I said, the inspector was doing their job, and
Yeah.
but there's concern of making oxalic acid is in places, those sponges, where it's unsafe if there's kids around, or like they don't want you making it in your own homes because it's not safe if kids get into it or something like that. But so it's more than just the front,
right.
but also
you've got to warm that. If you're going to mix it with glycerin, you've got to warm that glycerin up in order to get the oxalic acid to dissolve all the way into the glycerin.
and you're mixing it around. And I don't know. I mean,
if you got it too hot, then there's a good chance that that's going to vaporize. If you're doing it on the stove or something, it's going to vaporize, and you're going to be
cause problems.
But
causing problems. And
is using OAV similar? Like if you get how did the state inspector feel about you using the vapor method, Bracken?
Yeah, they're fine with that.
Okay. Because you don't have to mix that up in a home or anything.
Right.
Okay.
Yep, that's approved, and there was no. She's saying there's quite a bit of. They're seeing a fair amount of resistance against Apivar, the Apivar strips.
Which the active ingredients is Amitraz.
Yeah.
Which is what they're seeing across the country, right? There's
there's
a fair amount, not everybody, but there's a fair amount of resistance showing up.
Yeah.
They're saying, I'm sorry, they're saying that the Amitraz, there's a resistance to it, so it's just not working. Is that what they're saying?
Right.
Yeah, the bees are,
Right.
or the mites are becoming resistant to Amitraz.
Well, that
But-
is a bummer because that's what I'm using right now.
Yeah, she recommended.
But, you know, I've had the state bee inspectors come out. I don't mind Jenna or Joey coming out at all. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, they were good.
They're really good.
It was good. I guess I didn't. They're not out to get me. Yeah, no. And if it sounds like, I don't think. I mean, Jason's comment there. I don't think she was on the side with the mites. I mean, she was very good. She just. I mean, they have their protocols. They have their. I don't necessarily agree with them, but I don't agree with half the stuff the government does. So, whatever.
I'm
I think she was a lovely lady that was doing her job.
Yep.
That, you know, no bad towards her at all. She was awesome.
Yeah,
So,
I've had Jenna come out too. She's great, and I've
Yeah.
had Joey come out. He's
gung
great.
ho, smart as a whip. I mean, just
Yeah,
I'm just
Yeah,
asking out of curiosity because I haven't experienced it. So I'm just curious. Like, is OA not allowed? And I didn't know that. Or I guess OA sponges.
yeah. According to her, they are not approved unless it has an FDA or unless it has a label on it saying it is approved. Now the new stuff that's come out, what's it called?
the
Lady-
Broxan.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Broxan.
Yeah.
That's OA in the strips.
Yep.
They're
That's
they're
basically the exact
big
same
long
thing as,
strips.
as a homemade sponge. It's just been labeled and
Approved and
approved safe.
That makes sense.
So again, she told me it was kind of like this. Oh, you're not supposed to use those sponges,
but
No.
I didn't see him.
but I says, okay, I won't use them. You know, it's kind of that.
Did she
So,
know you'd be talking about it at a live stream though?
probably not. I'd face her though. I'd back her up. She was good. I don't have anything negative to say. I know she has a job, so
Yeah, she's just doing her job.
that's there's
Well, that's, for fall, that's one of the things you can still get away with is trading for mites right now. And if you haven't traded for mites, you better be doing something quick, because in Utah, time's running out. You're going to be too cold pretty quick here before that. And then, my opinion is I like to get my mites numbers down early and then keep them down with vaporizations. And that way because the bees that are coming off now, the ones that are emerging now, those are your winter bees.
yeah.
And in Bracken's case, he's a little different because he's going to take his bees to California for almonds. So he's doing something a little different. He's pushing the pollen, he's pushing the syrup, trying to get them to keep brooding longer and keep that brood nest going. And I'm in kind of a different situation. My brood nests are starting to collapse. Shouldn't say collapse, but they're starting to shrink. And the queens are shutting down. They're still laying, but not near as much. And that's okay. Now's the time, in my opinion, you can still feed. And as that queen lays less and less, get them to backfill that brood nest with some syrup and get them nice and fat and heavy.
Blake, can I tell you, I'd like your
So-
opinion on something that I saw last weekend. You mind if I jump in really fast?
Sure.
So I've been feeding for a few weeks now the sugar syrup 1-to-1. And I went in there last week, and they've been drinking, they've been taking it pretty quickly. And I went in there last weekend, and I was in all three of the hives. I was somewhat concerned with the space that was available. Like, they were filling it up, they were capping it, and so I backed way off this week because because there's still time. Like we need the queen to be laying right now, and she needed space. So I backed way off. I was surprised that they weren't using more of it. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Using more of the syrup?
Yeah.
They were just storing it.
They're just storing it.
Yep. That's what it looked like to me. I mean, I backed off because I was worried about the queen having enough space.
That doesn't surprise me. And they will, they will backfill brood nest to the point where the queen's got no room to lay. So it's a little tricky in the fall to kind of, you want her to lay as long as you can, and she'll lay, she may be down to 1 or 2 frames of brood in the middle of October, but so it does get a little bit tricky to how much do I feed them? I don't want to feed them too much, but I want to make sure they're as heavy as they can be. So
just touch and go, watch it a little bit.
Yeah, watch.
Back off.
It's okay to back off, and then if they start consuming it faster than you think than you're comfortable with, then give them back some syrup. I don't mind giving syrup right now because they'll either store it or they'll use it. And if they need to store it, they'll store it. But I would rather them take the syrup and use it right now than for them to start dipping into their winter stores. And that, to me, that's a little bit tricky to get them to do that. Not get them to do that, but I don't want to backfill the brood nest too quick, but I want to keep them going, raising brood, but I want them held nice and fat and heavy. I want those boxes to feel like a box of rocks when you pick them up. If they don't feel heavy when you pick them up, they're not heavy enough. They need more syrup. And yeah, like Jason says, I like here. Let's see if I can pin that. How do I do this?
Quade's gonna make this happen. You got it.
Oh, there. I like a thinner liquid to keep brood rearing going since my hives are already heavy enough. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. My hives are heavy, but I like to give them a little bit of thinner liquid syrup just to keep that brood rearing going a little bit. And I'd rather them take that syrup and use it. Than dip into their winter stores. I've had a hive. I've had a late season swarm since they were all packed out and the temps were still in the 80s 2 years ago.
Right. So he's saying like make sure the queen has space to lay. So it's just that balancing act we're talking about. You feeding yours right now, Glade?
I gave everybody a gallon of syrup about a week ago. And then all the nukes that I'm trying to raise, they're all still getting fed. They'll probably get 2 more gallons of syrup before it gets too cold. Yeah, they've had 3 gallons already, and they're using it, not storing it real heavily. Some have started to store it, but those are the hives. Those are my nukes that are looking really good right now. They're full population. Boxes are full of bees. The ones that are small still, and the ones that I would be worried about making it through winter, they're just consuming it and not storing it very, very much. I like doing 25 pounds of sugar and 3 gallons of water in a 5-gallon bucket. Yep. If you do that, you come out just about 1-to-1. Pretty close. Close enough. Close enough for the bees.
Yeah, I used to be super concerned about that, but now it's kind of just like close enough.
Close enough. Yeah. If you're feeding bees, don't don't get stressed out about getting that perfect ratio.
You ever seen the syrup calculator that Iowa Bees offers? It's just a.
I haven't.
So let me see if I can share it. This is actually pretty cool. Is it on there?
There.
So you can pick. Does it show my mouse? Does it show it moving?
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, you can pick what ratio you want. So say I want 2-to-1 or 1-to-1. We want 1-to-1, and I want. This is what I like the most. I have 20 colonies, and I want a gallon each. So I'm going to put 20 there, and it does it all for you. You're going to want 103 pounds of sugar, 12 gallons of water. I mean, I would never go down to the 100 gallons right there, and 12 gallons would be fine.
You're gonna look at that and go, oh, 100 pounds. That's 4 bags of sugar.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you're not going to worry about the 3 pounds.
No,
it doesn't matter.
It's quick math.
The bees will take it.
I mean, I did it for that the other day, or a little while ago. So I was like, okay, I need 250 pounds and 30 gallons of water.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What's the website for that?
It is right here, Iowa Bees. I just went to Google, type in syrup calculator, and it's this first one that comes up, Iowa Bees.
I'm going to have to remember that one.
Yeah, I put it on. It's on my phone, and I just have it on my saved as a bookmark. Actually, sorry, I'm not trying to steal the show here.
No, I like that.
This is another thing that I did. Let me hurry and find it and pull it up. So I took it to a next level because I'm kind of I like spreadsheets here. So is that showing?
Yep.
So I just put it in this, and then over here, my math, I just used that thing. Okay, I need 50 gallons of 1-to-1. So I come down here, and like I said, I'm not right on. There's 48 gallons right there of syrup. I need 10 bags of sugar. I need 250 pounds of sugar, and that's a 1-to-1 ratio. And that I'll mix that with 30 gallons of water. So when I mix my tank, I will put 30 gallons in first. I put my 30 gallons of water in first. Then I put my sugar, and then that gives me ballpark 50 gallons of syrup.
Why do they put the water in first?
Because when you put the sugar in first and then add the water, it's a pain in the ass to mix. That's why.
Go ahead.
So that pump that I got, I was super excited to use it, and I got it all ready, and I went and was like, okay, here I go. I'm gonna make my first batch of syrup in this. So I started dumping all the sugar in, just straight sugar, no water yet. Well, then I went and added all the water. Well, sugar went down into the pump and gummed everything up, and I couldn't get it to pump. So then I had to suck everything out. It was, it was bad. What is that? One of my double deeps is laying eggs in the top box and is brewed in the middle 3 frames.
Queen's up in the top box. It's okay. It's fine this time of year. If the bottom box has plenty of stores in it, there just may not be room for the queen down there in the bottom. If the bottom's kind of empty, then you may want to feed them, and whatever you feed them, they're going to store in the top and kind of force that queen back down to the bottom. Or if you really want to make sure she stays down in the bottom box, just move the frames down to the bottom box and pull the honey frames back up in the top.
Just move it around.
Just move it around. Yeah, move them where you want them.
Hey,
sometimes when I get that, I'll just swap the boxes. I'll just put the one to the side, put the one on the bottom, and put the lighter one or the one that they're not using on top, because they do seem to go up.
Yeah,
You know, it kind of brings her up a little bit.
you could do that too. And I've got some nukes out here that I'm trying to overwinter them in a deep and a medium, but they haven't filled out the deeps very well. And so the deeps are on top. I'm trying to get them to fill those out a little bit. And they're not doing it very well, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them.
guys, I had a hive requeen. I do have some capped brood, and this queen is laying up frames. When will I know that the hive is too small for winter? I think we have 2 more brood cycles left before winter.
If she's laying, you should be fine.
If she's laying, I've got some nukes that I'll overwinter in 5 frames. Like I said, well, a deep and a medium, or 2 mediums, 2 medium 5-frame stack, double stacked. So, but I don't like to get much smaller than that.
When will I know that the hive is too small for winter? Do you mean good enough for winter?
When do you give up and just say, okay, they're not going to make it? And
yeah, is that what he's asking? Let's see.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if they got like Glade says, there's people that can winter. I went overwintered a single box, a single deep, a few times actually last year and the year before, and yeah, mine only had 10 frames in there, and they were just a little tiny small, cluster. They made it. So,
and are they, Jason? If they're Italians, they're going to want to be a bigger brood nest, but if they're Carniolans, man, they don't mind a small cluster for winter, and they do really quite well. So, 3 frames of bees, if they're Carniolans, yeah, and they've still got plenty of resources, and the queen's okay. Yeah, she can make it. Wouldn't want to go much smaller than that, though. DC says he's got one to condense down tomorrow. And I'll probably end up doing that with a few of my nukes here in the next couple of weeks. So I'll just finally say, okay, you guys haven't filled out enough between this one and this one that are too small. I'll just stack them back together, and I won't even look for the queen. They'll pick the best queen, and so I'll just stack them together and let them go.
So can we talk about commercial guys here for just a second? I like to get on Facebook and talk to. I'm on a few of the commercial pages, and it blows me away. Today I was talking to, I'm not going to say any names or anything, but I was talking to a beekeeper. They got up to 75,000 colonies this year.
What?
Whoa.
And let's see, he had about, so he breaks it down into groups. Like I got the chat here. We're talking, and so I'm asking him all these questions. So the way I found him was I follow not Ian, but there's another Canadian beekeeper that I really like. I get a kick out of him. And he had posted that he had been feeding, and he feeds 3 55-gallon barrels of honey in each bee yard, and he has 250 bee yards. And he did anyways, the math came out to be his feed bill was like $250,000
Oh my God.
for syrup. So then I got reading some of the comments because it's on this commercial page, and this other guy commented, and then he commented back and he says, yeah, he says, my feed bill's probably nothing compared to yours though. And I was like, wait a second, this guy that's got a $250,000 feed bill is saying that this other guy is like 5 times more than him. So me being me, I jumped on there and started looking this guy up, and I just was like, hey, I know this is random, but I'm like, I seen some comments you made and I want to talk to you. But anyways, this guy's feed bill, he's got like, let's see if I can find it. He's in the millions. He spends like $2 or $3 million a year on syrup.
That's not 80s, is it?
Can you imagine that operation? Bracken, are you having like aspirations here?
Close. What?
You having aspirations here, like getting up into the...
Oh yeah, I'm all sorts of thinking. I was running all sorts of numbers in my head today. Yeah, I told my boss, I was like, man, I got like 2 more years with the city and then I'm out.
You can though, like you can multiply. Like beekeeping is one of those things where you can just every year get a little bit bigger. He
has roughly 60 employees, and each employee takes 1,200 hives. So he has 60 beekeepers that he uses, and then each one of those beekeepers runs about 1,200 colonies. Like, can you? I can't even fathom that. Anyways, I'm over here complaining that I had to spend $800 on sugar, and there's guys out there dropping $250,000 and $2 or $3 million on feed.
Yeah, I've got 3 hives in my backyard, so.
Yeah, and what's sad is, we got deeper into the conversation, is he is struggling because there is so much of the fake honey that comes in from not here, and he is, sure, he plays with big numbers, but if we could get rid of the funny honey and get rid of that crap that comes in from overseas, those guys would thrive.
They'd be fine.
They'd be fine, but they're competing against fake crap, and it just, you can't compete with something that tastes, let's be honest, I mean, funny honey tastes good, right? Like, it's not nasty. It's to us 3 right here, yeah, we probably could say, but you know what I mean? To the average person, fake honey is fine. They're fine with it.
Yeah. We need to educate them that it's not good. And
it's not.
Here's some real honey. Try this.
Straight sugar, just straight syrup. You aren't eating any. It's probably made in a lab in big tanks.
If you do farmers market, I've had people come up to me and say, "Well, I don't know that I've really had like a local honey or anything." I'm like, "Here, try this," and it blows their mind. They're like, "This has flavor. It's got," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, now go to a different farmers market and buy somebody else's honey. It's going to taste different." And he's like, "No way. It all tastes the same." I'm like, "No, you've been buying out of the box store. Go to a farmer's market and buy some local honey, and you're going to find some really good honey out there." I like mine, and I have a commercial beekeeper here in the area, but mine tastes different than his. Yet his bees are just down the street. We're all in the same area, but mine tastes different than his, and mine tastes different this year than it did last year.
There's a lot of issues with this, but I wonder, like for the regular civilian that doesn't know about bees but likes honey, what are you going to do? You're going to go to the store. Like unless you taste it, you're not going to know the difference. And you're going to go to the store and you're going to buy the honey that's way cheaper. And you're going to look at a farmer's market and say, oh, $25 a quart or whatever is way too expensive. I can get mine for $8 at Walmart. Well, is that the best indicator of fake honey, is just price? Like, is that what the education needs to be? If it costs this much, then it's fake honey. Like, is that or are there other indicators that they should have? Because I've looked at the labels in the stores; they all say the same thing.
Well, it isn't there a. I think if you look into it, it only has to be like 20% to be considered honey. Like I'm not.
I don't know what the rules are for labeling, but it's I think there's more fake honey out there than we realize.
Oh yeah.
And I think if we can educate the consumer that just buy somebody's local honey.
Yeah.
One, you're gonna get real honey, not anything fake, not corn syrup, not rice syrup. And two, you're gonna have something that is unique. I mean, it has a unique flavor, and it's way better than, because the box stores all those honey packers, they blend honey to come out with a consistent flavor. So they blend honey from all over the place, and some of that comes from outside the US, which may not be honey. And if we could educate the consumer that, hey, just find somebody local and buy local honey, it would make a difference. And these big guys that are producing lots of honey and are selling to some of the box stores, if you can identify their label and you can identify what their honey's going under, at least buy that instead of some of the generic.
Yeah, I really like what they do up there in Canada with Ian, the Bee Made. Like, it's a co-op, all the beekeepers kind of own the honey market. And I love watching Glade gift wrap the hives.
I won't gift wrap my hives for a little bit yet.
It's too bad. Anybody that's watching, if you have, and I know I'm sure some of you have Facebook and stuff, but yeah, try to educate. Post it on your things. Post a thing about real honey versus fake honey. Like you said, Jed, there's a lot of people that just don't know. They go to the store and I need some honey. And they grab the $6 bottle, and that's the cheapest one they can find. They're happy. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But if you could get some real honey in their hands, they'd probably be like, oh wow.
Maybe I'll make some shorts on it or something to just consistently. There is a fair amount of the population that does know, like the folks at the farmers market. I think they know the difference. People that I sell to on Marketplace, I've noticed that almost all of them comment on fake honey, and that's why they're coming to me. And I've also noticed, I don't know if it doesn't matter at all, it's just an observation that I've had, the Hispanic population is well educated on fake honey.
I have a lot of Mexicans that come and buy honey from me, surprisingly.
Yep. They seem to be more educated on what real honey is than gringos.
Yeah, I think that's a true statement right there. I've had people too that like, I don't like honey. Well, just try this. Oh wow, that's really good. Yeah, it is. But anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to take us off of a derail there about bee topic, but
well, I'm glad you did. So how many hives you want to get to? Do you seriously want? Do you think you probably don't want to say it? Then we'll hold you accountable to it. But like, do you want to get up into the hundreds and thousands over time, Bracken?
I don't know. I don't know. You ask me right now, yeah, I want to, but I don't know. And if my wife is listening, I don't want more than 20. I'm just going to stay right here at this comfortable level.
Is that 20,000 or is that?
Well, no, we don't know that. I for sure want to get So here's another thing. I was talking to another guy. I bought some new equipment. I bought a clarifying tank. I bought a wax separator that spins. I guess you guys probably seen that video.
I saw that one.
That's a machine, man. That thing was heavy duty. Well, when was that built? Like in the 1970s?
Probably. I don't know. It has a date stamp on it, but I can't read it. It's wore out. Yeah, that thing is
Perfect.
Sweet. It's bad to the bone. And then I bought a pump. Anyways, but he ran a little over 100 colonies, and he was telling me, he says, if you get to where you're efficient, and he worked a full-time job, but he was telling me, he says, these bees have paid for some of his kids' missions. He says, they have paid for multiple vacations that my wife and I have took, trips. And that's what I want to do. I want to get to where it's busy enough, but I want enough bees that when I go take an almond check, I would like to be able to take half that and go take my wife to Europe or whatever. That's kind of what I want to do. Do I want to get to 5,000 colonies? No, not really. But
the model I think is Bruce. Like somehow, and I don't know how he does it. Somehow he's working a full-time job, and then he has 150 hives, and I don't know how he keeps up with that. He must spend his whole Saturday and multiple evenings during the busy season out there every week. I mean, but if you had that many, Bracken, I would imagine you have like then the cash flow starts looking pretty good, and you can do vacations and things like that. Just discretionary.
And a lot of these commercial guys that I do talk to, I talk to a fair amount of them. I talk to more commercial guys than I do any. No offense to us, but I like talking to the New York Yankees. But I've asked them, like, how many colonies do you think you could run with a full-time job? And it's most of the answers I get is anywhere between 300 to 500 colonies by yourself with a full-time job. But it's a second full-time job, like they're getting off work and going straight to the bee yard, and they're coming home after dark, but a lot of those guys get to about that point, and then that's when they tip and go full-time. From what I've talked to, the ones that I've spoke to, they said, I got to a point, I got to about 500. I had to make a decision. Okay, do I go this way or do I go that way? And that was their tip point, and the ones that went that way, or, I haven't talked to many who didn't, because they're obviously still commercial guys, but.
Yeah, it makes sense that you would either choose to go full-time, become commercial or something like that, or you would get burned out and you would have to stop, because you'd burn out.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you guys, a super selfish question. I know we're coming up on time here, Glade. So is this okay?
You're good.
I texted what we want, can't we?
Yeah, we could do whatever we want. I texted Glade a week or so ago, because I'm looking every year. I want to upgrade my operation just a little bit, and in this next year I want to get a better extractor, because I've got a little extractor that just does the 4 frames at a time, but it's not radial, and so you have to rotate it and then flip them, whatever. And I want to get a 9 frame that is radial. And keep in mind, I have deep, so I preferably would like to have something that does deeps and mediums. So I looked on Marketplace, and I sent Glade one. I didn't like it. It seemed a little, shady is a strong word, but the guy was saying like he bought it for this much, and that didn't seem right. And anyway, any recommendations on something like that? You see what I'm saying? Like radial, 9 frame, like kind of what direction would you point me in? What cost am I looking at? I've looked around a little bit, but would love any advice.
I don't know. My first extractor I ever bought was a 60 frame date ant. I can't help it. This
Bracken is go big or go home.
Come to your house. Here's the deal. If I came to your house and did
Yeah,
this,
well,
I could get it all done in one spin.
What's
Yeah.
been
Awesome.
That is so funny. What did that cost, Bracken? What does a 60 frame extractor cost? Like that's
I stole it from the guy. I paid less than $2,000 for it, so
that's a good deal.
And some other stuff. So it was a good deal. He was just a guy that was getting out, old farmer that was like, yeah, I'm done. Here's my stuff. Take it.
This was Steve.
What?
Was that Steve?
No, this is no
different guy.
I don't know that. There you go. Do you still have Steve's number? Ask Steve. I wonder. He had quite a few colonies. I wonder what he used for a extractor.
Yeah, maybe I'll bug him.
And Brad, my mentor that we had on here, Brad uses a little. He does shallows. I think or not shallows, mediums. I think it'll do deep though. But he's got a pretty nice one, and I think I could ask him too. I think it's a Maxant. It might be Hilco.
When I got into it and started and had enough hives that I'm like, okay, I've got to have an extractor, because I borrowed one my first year, and I'm like, okay, I've got to have one, and I ended up with a Mann Lake 18 frame, and it was okay. It wasn't great. I didn't really have any problem with it. But I went to a Hilco 24 frame, and I love that Hilco. It's solid. The motor just purrs. It doesn't have any problem. But before I did that, I was looking seriously at Dadant, Maxant, and who's the other one that's
like Mann Lake?
Hilco, Dadant, Maxant, Hilco.
There's one more.
Vevor?
Not Vevor. There's another U.S. made.
You said Hilco, didn't you?
Yeah. And I looked for quite a while, and I was kind of hoeing and humming between Maxant and Dadant. Now I got to go look and see if who's the other one that was.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Hilco, Dadant, or however you pronounce that, and Maxant. So maybe I'll go with one of those three. I was hoping I could find a used one, like somebody that's.
Yeah, they're hard to come by.
Yeah.
And price wise, they don't depreciate very quickly. I mean, because there's not tons to them, and if they're well made, they just run and run and run. So that even if you find a used one, it probably is going to run for 20 years. But that's part of the reason I like Dadant and Maxant. They just have a reputation that these things are solid and they run forever.
Yeah, maybe I won't worry about it so much. I'll go with one of those three or four companies that just have a good reputation. Get one of those.
I like my Hilco mainly because I can set the program. The interface for the program's not real user friendly, but once you kind of figure out how to do it, I can just get the program set, and then once I load it, I just hit the button, and I don't have to worry about it.
Buy once, cry once.
Stepping up and slowing down. It's just sweet that way. It saves me a lot of time.
Are we keeping notes of the T-shirts that we're going to make with Bracken sayings on them? Like, buy once, cry once. It'll either work or it won't.
It won't. That's it. Those are the only two I have.
Yeah, those are perfect though. That's all we need. That's the secret.
I do need a shirt that says it'll work or it won't. Yeah,
that's good. Thanks for the advice. Appreciate it.
I say sink or swim quite a bit to my kids. That's one that I tell them when they're out in the river. Sink or swim.
I think maybe the other one I was looking at was Mann Lake, but I finally decided I didn't want a Mann Lake. After I had one for a while, I didn't want to go. I wanted to go a little bigger, but I didn't want another man lake.
There's a lot of little no-name companies that make them, and I just don't
Yeah.
know if that's worth it or not.
I don't
Yeah,
have any
well-
experience. What I hear from most beekeepers is buy a good one and
Buy one, spray one.
buy one, cry once.
I'm gonna go on Temu and get one.
And then the next year you're going to be buying another one.
Hold on.
Probably the same year you'll be buying another one.
I'm gonna look it up just for the fun of it. Hold on.
Yeah,
I do buy
yeah,
stuff on Temu.
it's
I'm
not-
embarrassed to say, but I'm sure they have super high quality stuff.
Yeah, I think the Hilco ones and stuff. I don't. Well, like I said, I'm not going to give too much advice. This is just what I've seen. I've seen a lot of people. I think Brad's might be a Hilco. He really likes his.
We got them. Temu.
How much?
$116.
That's the one
Is it-
right there.
Is it
How many
radial?
frames?
Oh, I don't know. Doesn't look like it. Oh, look. I'm not gonna buy it from Temu. I'm just playing.
Well,
but they
hear
do
me
have
out.
them.
If it's how many frames is it? Does it say?
They've got several, man. Like, there's one that's 4, not radial. This other one looks a little bit bigger, but it's a hand crank. I'd have to poke around a little bit.
Oh, don't get a hand crank.
No, I'm not getting no. My kids aren't willing to crank it because I don't want to do it. Anyway, I'm not going to buy it from Temu, but it is interesting that they have them on there.
That's funny. Mm.
Well, should we wrap, Glade?
Yeah. Let's wrap it up for tonight. So what's on the docket for the next week, guys?
I am just gonna jump into the hives this weekend. Make sure the queen has enough space. I should be wrapping up on my Apivar treatment, so I might throw some oxalic acid sponges in there. Don't tell Jenna. And yeah, I mean, just keep them feeding. Make sure the queen has enough space. By the way, I am out of town next week, Glade and Bracken. So if Bracken, you're back in business, you guys could do it without me and rotate to your channel. Otherwise, we can wait till I get back. I'm good either way.
Yeah, I'm only here because my daughter's sick and didn't go to dance tonight. So
Oh, okay.
there's a pretty good chance I won't be in business next week.
You okay if we skip a week, Glade?
Yeah, we'll have to skip a week.
Just go fly solo on it. No, I'm just kidding. That solo's not fun.
You
Yeah.
don't want to listen to me.
Sure we do.
Yeah, I'll listen.
Oh, excuse
Well,
me.
what are you doing, Bracken, this week?
Oh, beekeeping or farming or both.
Uh,
I don't know, to be honest. I haven't thought. I got to get another round of oxalic acid vapor in. That's my biggest. I'll give them another dose of that here shortly. I need to make some. Well, I need to make some more sponges, for not for my bees.
Careful
Right.
now.
Need to make some oxalic acid sponges to clean some stuff with. But I might do that this week. What about
Right,
you, Glade?
Glade?
I'm feeding bees. Pretty much
Feeding
just feeding my nukes and making sure they're trying to get them heavy. The rest of my hives look pretty good. The last time I was in them, I need to go check them one more time. And that'll probably be the last time I really kind of peek at them. I won't really dig down into the brood nest anymore. I'll probably just check a few of them just to kind of see where they're at and make sure they're okay and make sure they're nice and heavy. And if I find anybody that's light, then I'll get some more syrup on them, or I'll just combine them. If they're just too small and not doing well enough, I'll just start stacking them together and start combining. Take your, they say, take your losses take your winter losses in the fall. Don't wait till winter, and I've tried to do that, and
That's pretty good. I like that.
because you get these little hives and you think, maybe I can baby it through winter,
Yeah,
and you
don't milk
baby
it.
it and
Don't
baby it,
carry 'em.
baby it, and you get to spring and they either die just as spring's just about to hit, or they come out in spring and they still struggle, and they're still so far behind everybody else and you babied them all winter long, and it's just not worth it. Throw them together with another hive, and I'd rather come out with one strong hive than 2 weak ones.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for joining, everybody. Appreciate everybody jumping on and the comments, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully we covered some topics that were good.
Yeah, that was a pretty. Sorry, I
No, it's
Great.
great.
rolled it.
Thanks everybody for joining.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.